Don't Starve Together's newest update, A Little Drama, is officially out now, everyone. But we have so much more to discuss. Dropped right alongside it was a massive quality of life update that has continued the trend of changing a ton of things that have nothing to do with the actual update out now. There were enough food and crockpot tweaks to warrant an entirely separate video, believe it or not. And of course, we had ourselves a couple hotfix changes to add to the mix. But even that's not all, folks. Because even I forgot that Hollow Knights was going to be launching with this thing, and we got skins galore, new Twitch drops, and more. Let's discuss. Well, mostly just review and give an overview, I suppose, as we've kind of been doing a lot of discussing of this not-so-little drama update, but you get the point. The main thing you gotta take away right now, however, is that it's also out on PlayStation and Xbox as we speak, but for you Nintendo Switch players, it will be coming a little bit later. Now, while it is true that the little drama side of this update is definitely the littlest side of the updates, there's still actually some pretty decent things to discuss here. We have multiple new set pieces that are pretty much guaranteed to spawn in the world now, including the stage and the briars. Said briars actually spawn an entirely new mob in Briar Wolves, which might be the most intriguing part of the stage and all that so far. And speaking of the stage, while it doesn't necessarily do anything for us at this very moment, there's still a lot of fun and intriguing things to be had and seen within it and on it, as we've discussed in these videos right here. And I agree with folks who've been saying for this past week or so that, yes, this is the start of something bigger. That said, if you're just getting into it now, just know it's not much. But once we start getting into the gameplay tweaks, and especially the upcoming quality of life list, then things get much more interesting. For the playstyle, game mode, and preset change highlights, however, really the only things you gotta know is that we got a lot more settings in the setting menus, so be sure to take a look. And we got an entirely new preset that is pretty much easy mode. But don't worry, any of those who are kind of complaining about it. We also have a new hard mode as well. You want to take 35% more damage or less? You can do so. Just know that what I just said is a gross oversimplification. There is much more to chew on, but I'm just not going to spend too much time on it because look at all the other things we gotta spend time on. Some of the biggest and most numerous changes have to deal with tall birds, as now they are guaranteed to generate in new worlds. We can raise them, and they will now create their own nests when they are fully grown. Tall bird eggs themselves have not only been added to Claus's loot stash, and I'm shocked they didn't change that throughout the beta, so do make note there. We also have a tall bird egg recipe, which is tall Scotch eggs, and let me tell you, it's a bit ridiculous. Small birds and teen birds will no longer trigger traps to help raise them a little easier. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, the changed time for tall birds to lay eggs is now 3 to 5 days. That is kind of a nerf, but with how good they are now, and the ability to literally duplicate tall birds, I think it's okay. While we're on the topic of eggs and thus food, we should mention that there was a ton of other food changes, like 2 new beefalo-specific crockpot recipes, which are actually really nice in helping to obviously domesticate them faster. Wigfrid can now eat ice cream, as ice cream is now a goodie. Boons themselves, set pieces you find with Dead Survivor's Mind, have also got a bit of a food upgrade, as there are multiple food boons related to farming, fishing, and more. Certain recipes have had their spoilage times adjusted here and there, but some of them have also reset, so be aware of that. The cooking priority of a couple dishes has also changed, meaning we can actually use a couple more things of meat and like veggie burgers and stuffed fish heads, and we won't have to worry about making something else, which sounds small, but it's actually kind of a big deal. It's easier to make trail mix now, which is also kind of huge. We got these recipe card things that are now showing up all over the world in tumbleweeds, graves, etc. that can tell us how to actually make some crockpot dishes. And finally, at least for my personal list mind, the tin fishing bin got some major improvements, as now it has 20 slots and can be placed on dock. box. But trust me folks, we're only just scratching the surface still, as let us remember, we have those 2 hotfixes on top of all the other community feedback tweaks that are listed right here. We have 7+ new turfs to find, craft, and utilize in our games now. Sleeping and what we use to do so has all been changed in that tents and siestas now have more uses, which is nuts. Straw rolls alone can now heal, and the furry roll is now going to keep us warm if we use it. The lazy forager can now be repaired with nightmare fuel. We can use the lunar experiment to mutate wobsters. We got a golden pitchfork with an absolutely bonkers insane 800 uses or something like that. Cartographer's desks now have a major use in that they can take all of our extra tackle adverts, blueprints, sketches, you name it, and turn it into papyrus. Skittersquids of all things got some love and now are guaranteed to drop a light bulb. Warley got a buff out of nowhere, but it's really just one to help with his memory nonsense. Birds can also be impacted by that very same lunar experiment, which is actually one of the biggest changes they have ever flippin' made. Antlion, who, let me remind you, is a boss in this game and has been for many years, got a new drop for Pete's sake. And oh yeah, did I even mention that not only did they change the recipe for Pearl's house at all 3 stages, they completely changed the lunar endgame because of that. It truly is nuts, everyone, and it might be a little too much to wrap your head around, especially when it's separated in 4 separate videos. So if you want me to, and I'm probably just gonna do it anyway, mind, I'm probably gonna condense all of it down into one as soon as possible. For now though, let us move on to what's got me super duper excited. The newest skins for Don't Starve Together, the Moonbound collection. Oh yes, lunar skins are on the horizon, everyone, and it looks like we got 9 of the suckers. A skin showcase is gonna be here soon. And it's not just skins for us survivors either, folks. Clay is bringing the heat with 2 other bundles of item and structure skins. And it looks like even set piece skins. Oh yes, it's gonna be bonkers. And even if you can't get your hands on any of those quite yet, just know that logging in for a little while will be giving you some rewards too. Plus, we got some new Twitch drops as well. Go get it all. Wow, few is right, Clay, but that is it for now. They're on their way to the next update as always, everyone, and they're telling us one thing right now. The short that's gonna drop with it is looking magnificent. Have fun. And there you have it, everyone. A lovely overview of the newest update for Don't Starve Together, a little drama, and its quality of life nonsense. Not only that though, let us not forget that Hollowed Knights is active at this very moment. So enjoy 3 updates in one package, I suppose. Be sure to check the description and the pinned comment below for any more resources and/or additional videos that will help in your new stage performances. And I'll see you in the next one, folks. Bye-bye.